The Kung people are also known as the Kung San, and they were the first people that we know of in the Great Valley of Africa. The Kung people are very non-aggressive and lived in a hunting and gathering society. A hunting and gathering society first developed among the early hominians of Africa. The men would hunt for animals to kill and the women would gather plants to eat. Usually the women brought 60 to 80% of food supply. Their diet mainly consisted of plants because animal meat was rare for them. Even though there was about 50,000 Kung people, only about one-third of them continued their nomadic lifestyle. Many were sadly kidnapped and forced to work in homes and on farms. Some Kung people worked on black-owned farms in Botswana. They were not paid wages, only paid with food, so they were very poor. The San people are short and slim with a reddish-yellow skin, and they describe their hair as peppercorn. They call themselves Zu Twa Si, which means harmless people. As I said before, they were not aggressive people at all. There are three ethno-linguistic groups called Kung. There's Central Kung, Northern Kung, and Southern Kung. The only group actually calling themselves Kung are the Northern Kung. The languages of the Kung are also referred to by Kung. There are various types of languages for different groups. These are click language. The exclamation point represents one of the click sounds, made like the English sound some speakers use to imitate water dripping. Many of the Kung people also speak Swana and English. These are the most common languages when working in cities or on farms. The San language is written in standard alphabet based on Latin characters with special symbols for the click sounds. And this picture here is just showing you which languages are used in different parts of the country. The San groups are very small nomadic groups living far away from other people, even other groups of the San. The San people have been oppressed and dispossessed by both Bantu groups and European immigrant groups. History even documents hunting San people for sport. The Kung and other San exist outside the political arena. They have work relations with the Bantu and European farmers. Some of the San people in the past generation have gone to school and entered mainstream life. Some other San people served the South African forces in the years of the Namibian fight for independence. In the 1960s, some helped the Portuguese against the nationalist guerrillas. The Kung no longer practice male circumcision as initiation into adulthood. Girls still have a brief initiation in the Zoo groups, but female circumcision is not practiced either. Important events in the family or community are celebrated by exchanging ritual gifts. Food is not easy to obtain for the San people as they live in the desert, so many of the San people are forced to live among the Bantu and Europeans of Southern Africa. In the desert, their basic diet consists of melons, seeds, nuts, and antelope. The Kung originally had no settlements but built simple windbreaks of saplings in a semicircle, tied together at the top and covered in grass. They practiced no agriculture, and the only domestic animal was an occasional dog. Their hunting and gathering life has suffered continual encroachment. Some San people have entered the settled life to work on farms and in recent years have begun cultivating and herding cattle. Some San people also have goats. The majority of marriages are monogamous, normally arranged by senior members of a kinship group. It is preferred to marry cousins, but cannot always happen. Children are actively socialized with teaching. Ridicule is used for discipline as well as corporal punishment. There are hereditary leaders, sometimes considered chiefs, but they have limited authority. Traditionally, social order was enforced by ridicule as mentioned above, dispersal, which is forced separation, or sometimes even execution. Infractions are now handled through district councils or government courts. There was no formal military system. The Sans people were generally pacifist, although small skirmishes may occur. The Kung people are traditional tribal religionists. They believe celestial bodies, sun, moon, morning star, and southern cross are symbols of divinity. They also believe that the praying mantis is a divine messenger, and when one is seen, diviners try to convey the current message. Other animals also have spiritual significance to them. They also believe that dancing near a sacred fire will give them the power to heal. Their spiritual leaders are diviners and healers. They believe ancestors are involved in curing rituals. Legends play an important role in the life of the Kung. Each story is someone's perception of the supernatural. Each tells its own truth, bringing to light some aspect of the divine. The sacred Sodillo Hills are legendary. The story goes that a man had 2 wives, but he loved one wife more than the other, and this caused a big quarrel. The one he didn't love hit him on the head, causing a deep wound. Then she ran off into the desert. But the great god Gaxa decided that because there was no peace among them, he must turn them all into stone. The man became the largest of the hills. The unloved wife became the smallest hill that stands alone. And the loved wife, with her children, became the cluster of hills in the middle. But they believe there are supernatural powers in the hills because Gaxa himself lives there. It was there that he created and kept his cattle, sheep, goats, and all sorts of different animals. The Kung claim you can see footprints in the rocks. Today, only about 10% of the Kung people are Christian. The Kung people of Southern Africa believe in a supreme being who is the creator and upholder of life. Like other African high gods, he also punishes man by means of weather. The Kung people also have animistic and animatistic beliefs, which means they believe in personifications and impersonal forces. Amongst the Kung, there is a strong belief of the existence of spirits of the dead, who live immortally in the sky. They can come to Earth and interact with humans, like our idea of ghosts. The Kung frequently pray to the spirits for sympathy, mercy, as well as call on them in anger. The Kung practice shamanism to communicate with the spirit world and to cure what they call star sickness. The communication to the spirit world is done through a healer, entering a trance state and running through a fire, thereby chasing away bad spirits. Star sickness is cured by laying hands on the disease. Healing rituals are a primary part of the Kung culture. In the Kung state of mind, having health is equivalent to having social harmony, meaning that relationships within the tribe are stable and open between other people in the tribe. Any member of the Kung tribe can become a healer because it is a status accessible to all, but it is a grand aspiration of many members because of its importance. Even though there is no restriction of the power, nearly half the men and 1/3 of the women are acknowledged of having the power to heal. But with the responsibility comes great pain and hardship. To become a healer, aspirants must become an apprentice and learn from the older healers. Their training includes the older healer having to go into a trance to teach the novices, rubbing their own sweat into the pupil centers, their bellies, backs, foreheads, and spines. Most of the apprentices have the intentions of becoming a healer, but then become frightened or have a lack of ambition and discontinue. Women generally take care of children and prepare food. However, this does restrict them to their homes, since these activities are generally done with or close to others, so women can socialize and help each other. Men are also engaged in these activities. Children are raised in village groups of other children of a wide age range. Sexual activities amongst children are seen as natural play for both sexes. Kung women often share an intimate social ability and spend many hours together discussing their lives, enjoying each other's company and children. In the Kung tribe, marriage is the major focus of alliance formation between groups of Kung. When a woman starts to develop, she is considered ready for marriage. Every first marriage is arranged. The culture of the Kung is being directed at marriage itself, rather than at a specific man. Even though it does not matter who the man is, the woman's family is looking for a specific type of man.